My name is Sebastian Cabrera, and today I'm going to show you my final presentation for practices in the Profession 2 on renewable energy systems that I did on Egypt. Well, my project description. I work in a company in Egypt named eSolar, which is about renewable energy systems, specifically on photovoltaic systems. What I did in this company, I learned everything about renewable energy systems in a broadened way, and then I went back to the photovoltaic ways that they will be showing me later. Many types of renewable energy systems exist today, like geothermal energy, wind energy, biofuels, and finally the photovoltaic energy, which is the one I'm going to be focusing on today. As an objective, my main objective was to create a simple solar energy system using the parts that the company would give to me. As you can see in this image, typically a solar system has a solar panel, DC current converter, a charge controller, a battery, and then it goes to the electrical grid, and then it goes to the lights or the network in general. And another goal would be to learn different types of renewable energy systems. Like what I would do would be do research on this matters, and at the same time be talking with my higher ups about what I'm supposed to be doing and what way they had to teach me while I was doing my internship. And specifically with photovoltaic systems, again, this is the way that it's supposed to be, the solar panel systems. And this is an image of biofuels. Specifications, all right. So for my project, I had to use devices that were provided for me, as I said earlier. I used a Canadian solar panel. It was a really big one, about 250 watts of power. It's Canadian Solar CS6KP. Charge controller, ABB, that can support up to 300 watts, and an SU-VPR sine inverter, which is this. And what we did was just plug everything in and basically put it on the sun inside the offices and everything, so I could see and learn how to properly use these kind of systems. The regulations, well, inside the company, the interns were not allowed to work on power systems without supervision, since power systems typically are very high voltage and high current, and if not handled properly, one could basically die or go to the hospital very gravely injured, since it's very dangerous. There were also specified breaks, since Muslims, I was in Egypt, and Egypt is a Muslim country. Muslims have to pray 5 times a day. They would pray on 8 a.m., 12 a.m., 2, 5, and 5 a.m. 5 p.m. and 5 a.m. 8 again. And every time they would stop anything they were doing, put on their carpets, and then just start praying. And we would have to just respect them and not do anything. And then also everything had to if we were working on a system, it would have to be put together first before plugging it into the electricity. And the company, what it typically did, were putting solar panels on the desert. So, which is why I put this image here, which I took. They took me to this place and they showed me how they were working and everything like that. Okay, my contributions to the company were support the higher ups. Typically, anything they ask me to do to help them to solve a problem or get to or get a program or anything that I could do, they would tell me to do it, and then I would help them. Typically, I would do reports that would condense the information and be used when needed. So whatever they were doing, I would condense this information into a report, and they would use it later on. Then I would help them move heavy equipment, since in power systems there's very, very big boxes and batteries and stuff. I would help them move all that stuff. And I also would help them solve certain problems with the software. Sometimes there were software that, I don't know, like AutoCAD, and they didn't know how to do certain stuff, so I would help them with that. Then learning. I learned very, very much in Egypt. I learned new methods to implement photovoltaic energy. They were also showing me every day the news and everything that they were doing and the other companies were doing to perfect photovoltaic energy. I learned a lot of new ways to use my electronic engineering skills, since I never really did field work before. I also I found a very different way of working, since they work kind of like 2 hours and then they just rest, and that's that sort of stuff. They work slower than I would typically do. So yeah. And then I learned a lot of Arabic with them, because sometimes words wouldn't come out for them, and I would have to learn some Arabic to understand them. So, which is why I put this word here. I learned basic stuff like Assalamu alaikum, which is hello, and shukran, which is thank you, and that sort of stuff that could help me in the everyday life. As a conclusion, well, renewable energy systems will soon be the main way of using power, generating power throughout the world, and it's going to be one of the most important ones. And it was very important for me to learn everything that I did on this company, which will help me in the future, because I really want to put myself into the renewable energy fields. So I think renewable energy will be the best way for me to develop my intellectual capabilities and generate some money into my life. Thank you.